out here at the Sulphur Springs High School main gym for WildCats basketball. We've got another great one for you today here at home for the WildCats basketball team led by head coach Brandon Shaver as they will be taking on the Rockwall Jackets. The Jackets come into today's contest 2-3 overall and will look to even their record back to 500 if they can get the win over Sulphur Springs. But it will be no easy contest as once again Sulphur Springs comes into this game tonight here on November 30th, the final day of the November month. They host a 2-3 Rockwall team, and Sulphur Springs is 5-0. They have won all 5 of their contests at the onset of this season. First at Tyler Legacy on November 13th, blowing out the Red Raiders 72-30. Got their first win at home in their home opener versus Paris 2 weeks ago. That was on November 16th. They won 63-49 after pulling away late. Then last Friday, they were not this previous Friday, but the Friday before that, they were scheduled to host Palestine. But Palestine unfortunately had to cancel. Coach Shaver was not able to find a replacement game, so the Wildcats more than willingly took the forfeit win, which put them at 3-0. Then last Monday, they were in Sherman and defeated the Bearcats in a big one, 87-51. And then last Saturday, which gave Coach Brandon Shaver and his squad their 5th win on the season, came versus Henderson right here at the SSHS main gym, 73-43, a 30-point blowout. So one thing's for sure, Sulphur Springs has come out on a tear to start their season, and no doubt him and his squad will be looking to get that 6th straight win here if they can beat the Rockwall Jackets. So Rockwall, on the other hand, they are coached by head coach Quincy Jones, and their starting 10 are 6'1" guard and junior Dylan Gilbert, 5'10" guard and senior number 1 TJ Grix, senior guard at 6'1" number 2 Bryson Taylor, senior guard at 5'9" number 3 Jack Conselman. And then one of your starting 5 for the Jackets, 6'1" senior and guard number 4 David Chang, another, this time a forward, also a senior at number 5 Cameron Cottrell, and then 2 guards, both seniors, Kaden Shelburne and another senior, Kaden Marshall. 2 more players for the starting 5 for the Jackets. Then you've got forward 6'4" junior Jay Stone, 6'2" senior guard Brennan Ray, 6'2" senior forward number 20 Jace Eagler, and then guard senior Jack Harris, and then 2 forwards, a junior and a freshman, number 32 Matthew Smith and number 33 Hudson Golner. Once again, the Jackets are coached by Quincy Jones, and then we'll be hearing the national anthem here coming up very shortly, as we've got just about 30 seconds left up here on this warm-up clock. It originally was at 12, so over 2 minutes have passed in warm-ups, and the Wildcats basketball team has headed back to get the high fives in from Coach Brandon Shaver as they are about set to get this game underway. We will no doubt first have the national anthem, and then we'll introduce both lineups, starting with the away team tonight. That is the Rockwall Jackets at 2-3. But that is the warm-up clock, so we're about set to hear the national anthem, and then we'll move over to both teams' starting lineups as both teams are about ready to get this non-district contest underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WildCat Gym for tonight's non-district matchup between the Yellow Jackets of Rockwall High and your Sulphur Springs Wildcat. At this time, will you please rise and remove your hats as Megan Shaver leads us in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see?
Another wonderful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, sung by the very own wife of the head basketball coach here in Sulphur Springs, Brandon Shaver. An excellent, excellent job there.
Number 10, Kaden Shelburne.
So now we'll hear from the PA for both of these teams starting fives.
Number 13, guard and Ray. And number 24, Chase Eagle.
Now it's time to introduce the starting five for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats.
Starting lineups for your Sulphur Springs
Apologies for the allergy issues, folks, but with both teams introduced, we are about set to get this non-district contest underway between the Rockwall Jackets and the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Two players ready for the tip are number 20 for Rockwall, Jace Eagler, and number 1, Justin Hare. Branson Lynn a little too eager on the defensive coverage of another Jacket. Hare is able to get the tip, and he gets it back to Caleb Alexander. Alexander, 2 Jackets on him, back near the midcourt line, is able to get the pass away. It's number 1. Justin Hare. Hare's got it. He gives it back to Caleb Alexander back near midcourt. 2 more players on him. Gets it over to Branson Lynn here on the near side behind the three-point line. Over to Justin Hare in the near corner behind the line still. Then way over the court. Back over to Caleb Alexander behind the 3. Gives it over to Parker. I was going to say Parker Wisnop, but that was actually Kaden Arrington. Kaden throws the ball past the midcourt line. Lynn goes after it, but it's Rockwall ball. The Jackets with their first possession here in this game. Number 11 will inbound it. He quickly gets it over to number 23. And then now, number 4, Jack Conselman has it. But Conselman's called for the travel, so we'll go the other way. So with that, it'll be Sulphur Springs ball. Lynn inbounds it to Alexander. Back to Lynn. Then back to Alexander. Then over to Kaden Arrington. Lynn puts up a 3 and bounces off the rim. Arrington is able to get the board. Nice board there. Almost loses it, but then he gets it to Justin Hare. He's behind the three-point line. Mid-range jumper. No good. It goes off the board. Cordial Turner tries to get the rebound, but it falls into the Jackets' hands. Number 13 came with the board. That's Brennan Ray. Rockwall taking it the other way. Handling the ball again is Conselman. The senior, number 4. He drives all the way to the bucket. So that was David Chang. I apologize. I said that was Conselman, but David Chang with the first points here in this game, and he's got 2 as Rockwall takes a 2-0 advantage over Sulphur Springs. Lynn puts up a 3, and he drills it. So the first bucket of the night goes to Branson Lynn, the junior, who put up a nice deep 3 to give Sulphur Springs a 3-2 lead. Jackets with the ball now. Number 10's got it. Back out to number 20. That's Jace Eagler. And back over to number 11, Kaden Marshall. Now Ray's got it. Nice bounce pass. He's trying to drive to the bucket, but he loses the ball. Branson Lynn's got it, taking it past midcourt, and he is fouled by number 20, Jace Eagler. That is the first personal foul on the game, and it goes against the starting forward for the Jackets, Jace Eagler. So with that, it was not a shooting foul, so Sulphur Springs will inbound it. Branson Lynn will be the one with the honors. He gets it to Caleb Alexander. Return to sender, right back to Lynn. Far pass over to Kason Arrington, then back to Lynn. Lynn feeling the pressure. He's got 2 Jackets on him. Nice. Arrington's able to hold on to what looks like a surefire interception. Lynn, 3, and goes in and out of the rim. Another nice board from Arrington. He tries to put it up somehow, and it almost is able to fall in, but bounces off the board. Lynn is able to get his hands on it. Cordial Turner tries to put up the sky hook, but it's no good. It goes out of bounds, but it will stay with Sulphur Springs, as it was a Jacket who was the last person to put their hands on it. Arrington inbounding it to Lynn. Lynn thinks about the 3, decides against it, gets it over to Cordial Turner here on the near side, behind, driving to the paint, and he loses control of the ball. David Chang has got it for Rockwall. He takes it back the other way, kind of stops and pivots a bit, then puts up a 3. The 3 goes in and out there from number 11, Kaden Marshall. So now Lynn, nice step back. Caleb Alexander's got it. He was driving all the way to the bucket, but just did not have the shot that he wanted, so he drove right under the bucket. Lynn's got it behind the three-point line over here on the near side. Now Hare's got it. He's driving into the paint, and he tries to pivot and tries to make something of it, but Alexander puts up a 3, no good. Number 13 has got it for Rockwall. That's Brennan Ray, and somehow Sulphur Springs keeps possession. And not only that, but Cordial Turner gets a bucket. A nice layup there, which will make it a 3-point lead for the Wildcats at 5-2 over Rockwall. So Cordial Turner with a nice layup to give the Sulphur Springs Wildcats a 3-point lead. Rockwall does have the ball, though. They'll be inbounding it here. That's, again, number 11, Kaden Marshall. Marshall gets it out to number 20, Jace Eagler. Then back to David Chang on the far side. Back towards the Sulphur Springs bench. 3 is up, and it's good. That's number 10 there, Kaden Shelburne with the 3. And boy, did they need that, as Sulphur Springs was starting to find their rhythm or something like that, as Justin Hare loses the ball. And it's taken back the other way. Rockwall's got it, number 10. Then David Chang now behind the three-point line. He's driving all the way to the paint, but he's got 2 Wildcats on him. Somehow he gets the pass away to number 11, but his shot is no good. Sulphur Springs gets the board, starts taking it back the other way. Caleb Alexander the one with it. Bit of a stutter step. Not able to lose his defender, David Chang. Lynn with it on the far side, right in front of the Rockwall bench. Lynn dribbling, looking for options. Intense pressure there from David Chang. Cordial Turner tries to float it to Justin Hare inside the paint, but it is turned over. Rockwall again with it. Got a tie ball game here, 5-all. Nice stutter step there. Number 13, pump fakes. Gets it out to number 11 again. That's Kaden Marshall. Marshall tries to dribble around Kason Arrington, but no luck there. And so he instead has to pass it to number 20. Shot's no good. Arrington comes down with it. Wildcats taking it back the other way. Lynn with it, driving all the way to the bucket. And he gets the shot. I don't know that they will give him the layup, though. They might just give him the bucket. Looks like they were going to call it before he was on the ground, but instead we've got 2 free throw coming up here for Branson Lynn. So with that, Lynn's got 5 of the team's 7 points here early. Just over 3 minutes to go here at 3:19. Sulphur Springs leads 7-5 here in the first quarter over the Rockwall Jackets. Lynn's first free throw up and good. So with that, Lynn now has 6 of the team's 8 points. Wildcats lead here by 3 in the first quarter, 8-5. Chang gets it back out to Eagler. Eagler looking for options, gets it over to 0-0. Dylan Gilbert, and his shot goes in and out. It looks like it was a surefire 3, but somehow Branson Lynn comes down with it, starts taking it back the other way, gets a screen from Justin Hare, dribbling to the line. He's still got Dylan Gilbert on him. The 0-0 junior at 6'1" has been giving Lynn some pressure. Arrington's now with it, back over to Lynn. Portrait Turner just outside the paint. He gets it over to Caleb Alexander. Alexander, 3 off the backboard. Jackets recover. They take it back the other way. Number 10. And the mid-range pull-up shot is good. That's number 10, Kaden Marshall with the shot. Sulphur Springs with it now. Caleb Alexander's got it. He gets it to Justin Hare. Justin Hare, pump fake shot is up. No good. He's able to get the rebound, though. He's going to try and get a second one, though. They say the shot is not up. He will be fouled on the ground. So Wildcats will be set to inbound it here, and with the honors will be the ever-formidable Kason Arrington. We got some substitutions here for Sulphur Springs. Kason Arrington subs out, and in his place will be Parker Wisenhunt. Man, is he good on the fast break. I expect we'll see some of that tonight. He inbounds it to Justin Hare. Hare backs up behind the three-point line. Lynn's now got it. Gets it over to Portrait Turner, just at the top of the key. And Hare puts up the layup, and oh, it looks like it was nothing but net, but instead falls just short. It'll stay an 8-7 game here. Sulphur Springs leads, driving all the way to the bucket. And wow, that was a big fall there by the Jacket player who tried to drive to the bucket and put a layup in. And that was number 10 there, Kaden Shelburne, who was fouled. So a couple free throw attempts here coming up for Shelburne. Looks like he's taking a little bit of time to recover from that fall, and it was a mighty one. The first 2 free throw attempts here. First one is good, nothing but net as the senior guard drills it. The 6-foot senior looking to go 2 for 2 from the line. So first one is good. Looking to make it 2 for 2 now. And he drills that one. So 2 for 2 from the free throw line for Kaden Shelburne, the 6-foot senior. Sulphur Springs now with it. They trail by 1. Malachi Miles with the ball. Thinks about getting it to Branson Lynn. Lynn gets it over to Justin Hare. Portrait Turner tries to get the bounce pass from Justin Hare, but instead it's a turnover. Rockwall taking it back the other way, and it looks like a shot that was nothing but net. 0-0 puts it up. 2 shots for Rockwall, both no good. Sulphur Springs gets the board. Branson Lynn taking it back the other way. He's got a nice 2-on-1 matchup. Nice pass there to Malachi Miles for the layup, and it's good. The first bucket of the game for Malachi Miles gives Sulphur Springs back the lead at 10-9. Miles on defense now taking on Kaden Shelburne. And Rockwall loses the ball past midcourt. It will be Sulphur Springs ball now. Malachi Miles with the ball, guarded by David Chang. Taking it past midcourt. And now David Chang called for the foul. So the 6'1" senior non-impervious to calls here in the SSHS gym, as he will get his first personal foul here in this game. The Jackets have out-fouled Sulphur Springs as of early, just over a minute to go here in the fourth quarter. They have 4 fouls against Sulphur Springs too. Malachi Miles with it. Branson Lynn now has the ball. Back on here on the near side behind the three-point line. Mid-range jumper. Puts it up. Goes off the backboard. No good. Rockwall comes down with it. Number 1. The 5'10" senior TJ Grix with it. Trying to go coast to coast with the layup. Bounces off the top of the board. Somehow number 33 is able to come down with it. And he will be called for the charging foul. Good play there by senior Justin Hare to get the charge and make the ball go the other way, giving his team the ball. And now Malachi Miles will walk it down court. And he'll do just that, as he's got a couple of options here. Walking it up to near the top of the key. Bounces it to Corja Turner just outside the paint. Then back over to Parker Wisenhunt. Now again to Malachi Miles here on the far line. Lynn puts up a 3. No good. Rockwall tries to come down with it, but instead Parker Wisenhunt's the one who gets the board. He gets it back over to Branson Lynn. Back pretty far, way behind the three-point line and near midcourt. Then once again to Wisenhunt. Now Hare with it. And wow, it looks like David Chang was able to get his hands on it, but now Branson Lynn is able to return the favor. Malachi Miles with it. Wisenhunt gets the shot in. Nice easy layup there for the easy points to give his team a 3-point lead, and that will end the first quarter as Sulphur Springs leads 12-9 over the Rockwall Jackets. We're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsors, but when we return, we'll have the second quarter coming up. Welcome back to the SSHS gym as we've got under 30 seconds here to go to start the second quarter as your Sulphur Springs WildCats basketball team lead the Rockwall Jackets 12-9, a 3-point lead heading into the second quarter. Just under 10 seconds to go here in the clock as both teams still huddled up. Scoring for both teams, Branson Lynn leads the way for Sulphur Springs with 6 points, followed by 3 more Wildcats with 2 points apiece at Malachi Miles, Parker Wisenhunt, and Cordrick Turner. That's your scoring for Sulphur Springs. A bit more one-sided on the Rockwall side as Kaden Shelburne, the 6-foot senior, number 10, has, well, it looks like 7 of the team's 9 points, and then 2 were scored by David Chang. So now with it are the Yellow Jackets. I'm sorry, the Jackets, number 00. Dylan Gilbert's got it, then he gets it over to number 13. Brennan Ray has it. Then he tries to get it back over to TJ Grix. And now, once again, Ray's got it. Back in the top of the key, and ooh, some beautiful rotation there as Dylan Gilbert is able to get the first points here in the second quarter and put the Rockwall Jackets just 1 point behind Sulphur Springs at 12-1. 7.5 to go here in the second. Try to intercept that pass. Parker Wisenhunt shot very shy of the bucket. Malachi Miles tries to do a drive underneath the basket and put it back in over on the one side, but no good. Rockwall starting to take it the other way. Parker Wisenhunt tries to jump the pass, and wow, another easy layup there for number 33 that time, Hudson Goldner, the freshman, as he gets 2 more points for his team here in the second quarter. Rockwall has taken the lead at 13-12. Sulphur Springs trying to get some points here. Will it be Justin Nair who has the ball right now? He's in mid-range, trying to drive to the bucket, but he's got a nice defender on him at number 13. His shot goes in and out. And Cordrick Turner tries to get the board, but he will be called for a foul. So it will be Rockwall ball here coming up. Inbounding it will be TJ Grix to David Chang, back to Grix. So the slippery 5'10" senior has the ball, then he gets it to Chang. He's guarded by Malachi Miles, then over to Ray, then to Grix. 3, and he drills it. So 3 more points for the Rockwall Jackets as they have taken a 4-point lead, their largest lead here in the game. Caleb Alexander trying to drive to the bucket, but it is blocked by a Jacket, so it will stay with Sulphur Springs. Parker Wisenhunt will be inbounding it. Sulphur Springs still looking for their first points here in the second quarter, 1.5 minutes here into the quarter. Justin Hare, one-legged fadeaway, and he drills it. That is Hare's first points here in this game, and they came in the second as Sulphur Springs now trails just by 2 after Hare's one-legged fadeaway. So TJ Grix with the ball now for the Jackets. free throw line shot there from Hudson Golner, the freshman, as he's got 2 straight buckets for the Jackets. 4 points here in this second quarter alone. Whisenhunt, nice pick and roll, but he is fouled in a big way. Let's see who the call is on. It'll be on 0-0. That's Dylan Gilbert, and as far as I can tell, that's his first personal foul here in this game. And 2 free throw attempts for Parker Whisenhunt coming up. First free throw is good. And you saw on that previous possession why Parker Whisenhunt is just so good on the fast break, because he's just got such a wonderful stride like a deer, you know. 1 second you look up and he's past, running back down the court, and then the next you look, he's already back in the opponent's paint. So Whisenhunt's second free throw is no good. It'll stay an 18-15 3-point deficit for Sulphur Springs. Whisenhunt with a great jump on that pass, intended for David Chang from TJ Griggs. It will instead be pushed out of bounds by Arrington and stay with Rockwall. 0-0. Dylan Gilbert inbounding it. He gets it to Brennan Ray. Ray on the 3-point line here on my near side. He tries to drive all the way to the bucket, but his shot is no good. It falls off the front of the backboard. Whisenhunt comes down with it, starts to take it back the other way, and TJ Griggs with a wonderful interception. Ooh, and a spin move around Justin Hare. My goodness. And then Whisenhunt with an interception of his own. So getting a bit sloppy here. Arrington tries to put up the layup, but it doesn't fall. Great defense there, as we've got some shots that just won't fall here as of recent. Ray trying to pump fake a bit around Kaden Arrington. No good. Chang puts up the 3. Goes off the back of the rim, but no good. Hare comes down with the board, starts taking it back the other way for Sulphur Springs. Wildcats trail by 3 here. Griggs guarding Hare. And then he gets it to Parker Whisenhunt on a beautiful pass to the opposing side of the 3-point line. Right back to Hare. Hare near the top of the key. And now Hare gets it over to Caleb Alexander. Alexander near the top of the 3-point line. Nice pass there to Malachi Miles. Miles guarded by TJ Mack. I almost said TJ Maxx. Dylan Gilbert, and then a turnover there for Sulphur Springs, and it will be Rockwall ball. Timeout is called on the court, so we're going to take a timeout with them. And when we return, we'll see if Sulphur Springs can't start to or continue to chip into this deficit they face here at 15-18. We'll be back here in just a moment. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym as the Wildcats basketball team trail here in the second quarter to the Rockwall Jackets, 15-18. So under 4.5 minutes to go here in this first half, and the Wildcats have only scored 3 points here in this quarter. 2 came from Justin Hare and 1 from Parker Whisenhunt on a free throw. So Rockwall again with the ball, under 4.5 to go. It's David Chang with it, gets it over to number 11, then back over to Golner. Golner looking for options, and he tries to get it over to Brennan Ray, and instead it goes out of bounds. So with that, Sulphur Springs will have possession. Arrington bounce passes it to Caleb Alexander, who's walking it down court and looking for a couple of options. Just dumps it off to Caleb Alexander. Whisenhunt for 3, no good, but Arrington is able to get the rebound, and Hare will be called for the travel. Tough call there, as he took 1 step too many, and as a result, gives the ball back to Rockwall. So once again, the score stays at 18-15, a 3-point deficit for Sulphur Springs and the men's basketball team. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first half, David Chang once again with the ball. He's been an excellent senior here for Rockwall here in this game early. And now number 5 in, that's Cameron Cottrell. And Branson Lynn tries to get it, but it will be a turnover for the Jackets. So ball going the other direction. And because Sulphur Springs is in the bonus, Branson Lynn will now go for 2 free throws as he was fouled. So Lynn will see if he can't get his first points here in the quarter. First free throw attempt is up, and it's good. So now a 2-point deficit. The junior will see if he can't go 2 for 2 for the line here and pull his team within 1 of the Rockwall Jackets. Lynn's second free throw is up, and it's good. So 2 points here for Branson Lynn after 2 successful free throw attempts, and Wildcats trail by 1 here at the SSHS main gym, 18-17 to Rockwall. TJ Griggs with the ball, and he turns the ball over. Kaden Arrington has it, and he starts taking it back the other way, gets to Branson Lynn. Lynn walking past midcourt, calling out the play here. And he waits for his offense to adjust. Gets it to Caleb Alexander, near side behind the three-point line. Looking for a couple of options. Back over to Kaden Arrington. Then over to Branson Lynn, right in front of the Rockwall bench on the far side. Back to Caleb Alexander near the top of the key. And he's going to try and juke and jive his defender there, number 5, Cameron Cottrell. Instead, dumps it to Parker Wisenhunt. Outside the 3. Back to Hare. Over to Lynn. 3. Bounces off the rim. No good. Brendan Ray comes down with it of Rockwall. And the Jackets taking it back the other way. David Chang with the ball. He's got Wisenhunt on him. Chang looking for options, trying to dribble all the way to the bucket. And his shot is up and no good. So once again, Arrington comes down with the board. Caleb Alexander with it. Wisenhunt gets it back out to Lynn. Back over to Caleb Alexander. And man, they had that defense for Rockwall on edge there, as a couple of really good passes. Looks like the Wildcats were surely going to get a 3, but it just didn't fall that way. However, there was a foul on the play committed by Rockwall. I believe it will be against number 1, it looks like TJ Griggs. And Alexander's first free throw is up, and it's good. So with that, the Wildcats basketball team have tied this game here in the second quarter, under 2.5 to go here in the first half at 18 all. Alexander seeing if he can go 2 for 2 from the line, and his bucket bounces off the rim, so will be no good. Stays at a tie ball game at 18 all. Caleb Alexander defending number 11, Kaden Marshall. Marshall gets it out to Shelburne. Shelburne dribbling back near the top of the key, looking for options, trying to dribble on Branson Lane. It won't work. He gets it out to number 11 on the 3. Bounces off the rim, no good. Lynn tries to come down with it, but it looks like maybe Cameron Cottrell got his hands on it and sent it out of bounds, but instead it will go out on Sulphur Springs, and the Jackets will maintain possession here. Chang will be the one inbounding it, looking for a couple of options. He's got Cameron Cottrell right beneath the basket, but Justin Hare is there, but he fouls Cameron Cottrell, the 6'4" senior, and now Cottrell will go to the line. And lots of Sulphur Springs fans here in the SSHS gym, and they don't agree with that call. Coach Brandon Shaver having a word with the ref and just wanting to talk things over. Cottrell's first shot is no good. So now he'll see if he can't go 1 for 2 from the line. Second free throw attempt on the way from Cottrell. And that one goes in and out as well, so he goes 0 for 0 from the line. And now, Wildcats with the ball. Caleb Alexander taking it past midcourt. He's got number 11, Kaden Marshall on him. Then he gets it over to Justin Hare. Back line the three-point line here on the near side. Hare gets it over to Branson Lynn on the far side behind the line. Then over to Kaden Arrington, then back over to Caleb Alexander. Deep 3. Bounces off the rim, no good. Cortrick Turner with it. He rebounds it. Trying to look for options, trying to drive to the paint. And he drills it. He was very incredibly defended there by the 6'4" senior Cameron Cottrell, but it did not matter as Cortrick's shot fell. So number 10, that's Kaden Shelburne with the ball. Now David Chang with it. He's going to try and drive all the way to the paint again, instead opting out to number 11. And 11 with the pull-up jumper. That's Kaden Marshall, and his first points here in the game tied the ball game at 20 all versus Sulphur Springs. So now Branson Lynn with it. Gets Caleb Alexander in front of the Rockwall bench. Back over to Justin Hare. He's behind the three-point line. Then over to Branson Lynn. Lynn looking for a couple of options. Porter Turner has it. He's driving all the way to the paint. Instead, opts for Branson Lynn behind the line. And it bounces off the back of the board. Somehow Justin Hare is able to come down with it. And wow, the ball was tipped as Arrington passed the ball away. And Rockwall is able to come down with it on the tip ball. So David Chang with it, driving past the midcourt line, gets it to Cameron Cottrell. Just over 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Tie ball game, 20 all. Cameron Cottrell, the 6'4" senior with it. Hare defending him. David Chang puts up the 3. Instead, opts for number 11, one-legged jumper. No good, but he gets a second shot and it falls. So with that, Rockwall is able to take a 2-point lead at 22-20. It's not under 20 seconds to go here in the first half. Lynn with it. Then over to Caleb Alexander. Time's running out here in the first half. Corja Turner's got it near the free throw line, and he's trying to drive all the way to the bucket. And he will be fouled. Number 11, Kaden Marshall, the 6'4" senior, is called on the foul. And with that, Corja Turner will go to the line for 2 free throws. See if he can tie this ball game up right here. Under 10 seconds to go here in the first half at 8.9. But before we resume the clock, we'll have Corja Turner's 2 free throws. First one up and on its way, and it's good. So that is Turner's 5th point here in this game. See if he can't bump it up to 6 after the second free throw. Second free throw attempt is up for Turner, and he drills it. So 6 points here for Turner, and under 10 seconds to go here in the game. Chang has the ball. Now Marshall, deep 3. Bounces off the backboard, and Turner comes down with it, but he will be fouled. So with that, and a team in the bonus, it will be Sulphur Springs shooting a couple more free throws here, and it will be Corja Turner. Wildcats in the double bonus as the Jackets have committed 10 fouls here in this first half. Corja Turner seeing if he can give the Wildcats the edge here going into the locker room for halftime. First free throw, drills it. Sulphur Springs retakes the lead at 23-22. Second free throw attempt here from Corja Turner. Second is up, and it's good. So 4 free throw attempts here in the last 10 seconds. He chucks up a shot, but it does not fall. That was number 10, Kaden Shelburne, trying to get a buzzer beater there, but it does not fall. So with a couple of late free throws from Corja Turner, the Wildcats are able to take a 24-22 lead heading into halftime. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym as the Wildcats basketball team have less than 2 minutes on the halftime clock before they resume action here in the second half. The Wildcats went into the locker room leading 24-22 thanks to 4 free throw attempts, all good from Corja Turner to give the Wildcats a 24-22 edge over Rockwall heading into the locker room. But no doubt, Coach Bryson Taylor saying to his squad, hey men, we didn't have our best first half. Offensive production slowed in the second as they only scored 12. But one thing's for sure, the fact that we're still winning, and by 2, considering that poor second quarter, or not great second quarter, I should say, should give this team a lot of motivation heading into the second half. So it doesn't mean that they can play all lax and just Harlem Globetrotters their way around the court, but there's definitely some things that Coach Brandon Shaver said to his squad that they needed to work on, perhaps some of the shot selection, and about ready to resume action here in the second half as they will look to bump their 5-0 record to 6-0 if they can hang on here versus the Rockwall Jackets. Rockwall has given Sulphur Springs just about all they could handle here in the first half. As again, Rockwall came into this contest 2-3 overall, but outscored the Wildcats. It looks like 13-12, so just barely edged the Wildcats in scoring in the second, but their shots fell, and they were able to almost take the lead into halftime. So 10 seconds left on the halftime clock as we are set to resume action here in the second half. 2 Wildcats have 8 points with Branson Lynn and Corja Turner. Parker Wisenhunt has 3. Malachi Miles and Justin Hare have 2. And then Caleb Alexander rounds up the scoring with 1. Coach Brandon Shaver humbled with his squad. About ready to resume action here in the second. So both teams about set to take the court. And it will be the starting 5 for Sulphur Springs that walks back out on court to start the second half. So number 0 through 3, 0 Branson Lynn, number 1 Justin Hare, 2 Kason Arrington, 3 Caleb Alexander, and number 23 Corja Turner. Then for Rockwall, you've got what appears to be their starting 5 out there. Yes, number 13, Brendan Ray, 20, Jace Eagler, 10, Kaden Shelburne, number 11, Kaden Marshall, and number 4, David Chang. So Sulphur Springs will have it to start this second half. Lynn inbounding it to Caleb Alexander. Alexander calling the plays back from the midcourt line. He's got David Chang on him and some intense pressure at that. Justin Hare with it behind the line. Lynn with it. And deep behind the three-point line, right in front of that Sulphur Springs bench. Corja Turner now with the ball on the pass from Lynn. Kason Arrington with it on the pass from Turner. And Corja Turner tries to put up a shot, or tries to get it to Justin Hare below the bucket for something of an alley-oop or perhaps a pick and roll, but Hare will be fouled. Tough to tell who it was that fouled him on that one, but we will give Marshall a foul. Caleb Alexander with a deep three, and he drills it. The first points here in the second half belong to Caleb Alexander on a deep three. That gives Alexander 4 points here in this game. And now, number 20, Brendan Ray with it. Justin Hare looked to be fouled on that play, but they kept going. But somehow Sulphur Springs is able to come down with it. Caleb Alexander with it, trying to drive all the way to the bucket, but he tries to thread a pass to Branson Lynn on the other side. David Chang comes down with it. Rockwall going the other way. Jackets driving all the way to the bucket. Number 11 puts up a three. Air ball straight to number 2, Kason Arrington. Arrington comes down with the board, gives it to his point guard, Branson Lynn. Walking it past midcourt, trying to shift his way around David Chang there. Turner puts up a three and bounces off the board. Chang tries to come down with it, but instead it will be Brendan Ray who gets the rebound. Taking it back the other way, he gets it to number 10, Kaden Marshall. Marshall behind the line. He's got Corja Turner on him. Instead opts to Brendan Ray on the far side. Ray bounce passes it to Marshall. Marshall looking for options, gets it over to 20. Now 10 with a three. Bounces off the board. Tough shot there for Kaden Shelburne. Did not fall. Sulphur Springs taking it back the other way. Branson Lynn trying to drive to the bucket. He puts up the shot, but he will be fouled. He was called for the travel. So it will be Rockwall ball here. Ray with the inbounding honors. He'll be giving it to the guard, David Chang. So now that Chang has the ball for Rockwall, he and the Yellow Jackets will have the possession here. Chang pivots past Caleb Alexander, then gets it over to Marshall, or Shelburne. Shelburne puts up the shot and then nails it. So the first points here for Rockwall belong to Kaden Shelburne, as he gets a nice jumper for two. Branson Lynn with it, then to Corja Turner, back to Branson Lynn behind the three-point line. And he's got it still, almost loses the ball, gets it to Justin Hare, then to Corja Turner. And once again, Corja Turner called for some kind of foul, but will be Rockwall ball. Jackets with it, trailing by 3 here. 27-24, under 6 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Brandon Shaver still having words with the ref. And now, Ray inbounds it to David Chang. So Chang with it. And he's got Caleb Alexander draped all over him. Shelburne with it. Opts instead for Brendan Ray. David Chang. Ooh, and a nice pick and roll there for number 20. That's Jace Eagler with his first points here in this game. And now Rockwall only trails by 1 at 27-26. Branson Lynn with the ball, gets it to Kason Arrington, top of the key, back to Branson Lynn. Gets it instead to Justin Hare, and wow, Parker Wisenhunt is able to drill the shot there. And Brandon Shaver can't believe it, as David Chang should have been called for a foul, perhaps even a technical, but instead it went uncalled. Wisenhunt still able to drill the shot. Shelburne with the ball for Rockwall, trying to drive all the way to the bucket, and he nails it. So 4 points here in this quarter for Kaden Shelburne. as Sulphur Springs still leads by 1 at 29-28. But Rockwall continuing to fight, and they just intercepted a pass from Caleb Alexander, taking it back the other way. Drives all the way to the bucket, and he will be called for the charging. Wow, tough call there. Thankful I'm not the one on the court who had to make it, as Jace Eagler gets the charging foul. At least his second here in this game. And Wildcats still ahead in fouling over, or perhaps behind in fouling, you could say, as they have fouled Rockwall 2 times here in this second half, and Rockwall has only committed 1 foul, so Justin Hare with the squeegee. Just getting rid of all that moisture under the bucket. And now that that's underway, he gives the squeegee back to Coach Tyreek Rollison. Rollison, as many of you Wildcat and Lady Cats fans know, was the quarterback for the 2008 state championship football team, and was the running back coach for Coach Greg Owens' football squad this year. And Wildcats with the ball now. Justin Hare tries to do a nice bounce pass to Kaden Arrington, but it instead results in a turnover. David Chang walking to pass midcourt. He's got Caleb Alexander on him. Gives it to Brennan Ray on a 3. Air ball. And Kaden Arrington with a nice bounce. Parker Wisenhunt trying to get a fast break. And Brennan Ray has no choice but to kind of insert his hands and send the ball out of bounds on what would have been a surefire 2 points there from Parker Wisenhunt. So Sulphur Springs retains possession after Ray sends it out of bounds. Wisenhunt looking for options. He's got Lynn over in front of the Sulphur Springs bench. Hare with the ball instead. And tries to get the one-legged jumper. And he gets it. So Hare with 2 points here in this third quarter. That gives him 4 in this game. As Sulphur Springs leads by 3 under 4 minutes to go. Branson Lynn gets the turnover, but then sends it right back out of bounds. So tough as he just couldn't get his hands on the ball the way he wanted it to. And Rockwall will maintain possession. So Kaden Marshall with it. He'll inbound it to Hudson Golner. Now Chang with the ball. Chang with Alexander guarding him. Now it's Marshall. Marshall instead gets it to Brennan Ray. Ray over to David Chang. Pump fakes. Still behind the 3-point line. Kaden Arrington is guarding him. He's driving all the way to the bucket. Instead opts out for a deep 3, and he nails it. As Kaden Marshall gets 3 points. And we've got a tied ball game here, 31-all. Over 3 minutes to go here in this third quarter, as this game is real tight. Parker Wisenhunt with it. Then over to Branson Lynn. Lynn back out to Parker Wisenhunt. Wisenhunt driving all the way to the bucket, but he is fouled. We'll see who was called for the foul. And I believe it was, yes, number 33, Hudson Golner. At least his second personal foul here in this game, and we are all tied in terms of foulage here in the second half with both teams at 2. Wisenhunt's trying to see if he can get his third and fourth point here in this third quarter, but his first free throw bounces in and out of the rim. Some substitutions here for both teams as Caleb Alexander subs out, Malachi Miles comes in, and Brennan Ray subs out, and TJ Grix comes in. Second free throw for Parker Wisenhunt here, as he'll see if he can go at least 1 for 2 from the line. And he drills it. So with that, Sulphur Springs takes a slight edge at 1 point, leading 32-31 under 3 minutes to go here in this quarter at the SSHS gym, as the Sulphur Springs Wildcats trying to head into their first tournament 6-0. Grix, nice pass there, but Sulphur Springs almost sends it the other way. Rockwall keeps it. It's Kaden Shelburne with it, and he should have been called for a travel there. I'm surprised it wasn't, but TJ Grix now has it after the pass to Marshall. Marshall now with the pass again, and he will bounce it out of bounds on the pass attempt to number 33, Hudson Golner. So the turnover will give the Wildcats a ball, but a timeout call on the court. Sulphur Springs leads 32-31 with just under 2.5 to go here in this third quarter. When we return, we'll see if we can't have the end of this third quarter here coming up. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym as the Wildcats basketball team have a slight edge over the visiting Rockwall Jackets at 2-3 as Sulphur Springs leads 32-31, just a 1-point edge for Sulphur Springs. Rockwall with the ball, David Chang inbounding it to Hudson Goldner and tries to put the shot up and it's no good. Malachi Miles gets the rebound, gets it out to Branson Lynn. Lynn behind the three-point line waiting for his offense to get to their spots. Malachi Miles with the ball now. Back out to Branson Lynn right in front of that Sulphur Springs bench. And a nice between-the-leg bounce. Branson Lynn with it, and a deep three. He drills it. So first bucket here in this third quarter for Branson Lynn, and it's a nice three as Sulphur Springs takes a 4-point lead under 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Sulphur Springs leads 35-31 over Rockwall. Driving all the way to the bucket. Here gets a block. Wow. Malachi Miles comes down with it, and David Chang is called for the foul. So that Wildcat bench is emphatic, and they are excited about that one. Sulphur Springs leads by 4 here with the ball. Parker Wisenhunt will have the inbounding honors. And a couple more substitutions for Rockwall as number 4 David Chang subs out after his foul, and then number 11 Kaden Marshall subs out. Coming in, I believe, we're 0-0 Dylan Gilbert and 1 TJ Grix again. So Malachi Miles with it. He's got Grix on him. Back out to Branson Lynn. Somewhere between midcourt and the top of the key. Bounce pass to Kaden Arrington. Justin Hare with it in the paint. He tries to put up the jumper, and it does not fall. And he tries to get it back, but TJ Grix comes down with it for Rockwall. And a three. In and out. Tough one there for Rockwall, as that one looks like it was nothing but net, but just bounced in and out of the rim. Sulphur Springs comes down with it. Malachi Miles with the ball past midcourt on the Rockwall side of the midcourt line. Justin Hare with it near the top of the key. Then Branson Lynn for another three. Bounces off the rim. Tough one there. Rockwall comes down with it. Another rebound for the Jackets. TJ Grix taking it back the other way for Rockwall. Nice behind the back bounce as he keeps it and kind of jukes Malachi Miles. A deep three, and he nails it. That's number 2 Bryson Taylor who gets his first shot here in the game and pulls the Jackets back within 1 at 35-34. Under a minute to go here in this game. Just about 30 seconds. Wisenhunt driving all the way to the bucket, but he is fouled. And we'll see who the foul is called on. And once again, it's 33 Hudson Goldner. So that's 2 here in the last few minutes. Got to be careful that he doesn't want to foul out of this contest. And one thing's for sure, Rockwall's going to need him, considering how good he is in the post. And just a freshman, no less, the 6'7" freshman Hudson Goldner, who got his at least 3rd personal foul here in this game. Wisenhunt's first free throw is up, and it's good. So trying to see if he can go 2 for 2 from the line here. After last time, he only went 1 for 2. Gave himself his 6th point here in the game. Just recently was his 7th. Now going to look to get his 8th. And off the back of the board. And Arrington will be called for the push. So shoving foul goes to Kaden Arrington. As far as I can tell, that's his first here in the game. Wildcats still lead. Just over 30 seconds to go here in this third quarter. They lead by 2, 36-34. Jackets with the ball, number 10. That's Kaden Shelburne. And a nice pass there to TJ Grix. Grix then gives it to Bryson Taylor. Taylor going to see if he maybe can't put up another 3, but instead opts for number 10, Kaden Shelburne. Just running around the court, this Rockwall squad is here as time is running out. And Wisenhunt almost jumps the ball. And he gets a nice high five from his head coach, Brandon Shaver, on the interception attempt, trying to steal the ball and send it back the other way. But no steal there as Rockwall keeps it. TJ Grix inbounding it. And he's got a couple of options. He goes for Kaden Shelburne. Shelburne with it. He's guarded by Kaden Arrington. Arrington backs him up near the midcourt line. Shelburne trying to drive to the bucket. Instead opts for Bryson Taylor. And he loses the ball. Branson Lynn comes down with it, but there's not enough time left on the clock to take it back down court. So Sulphur Springs heads into the fourth quarter with a slim 2-point advantage over the Rockwall Jackets here in the SSHS gym. So we're going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors, but when we return, we will have the conclusion of an incredibly thrilling basketball non-district matchup coming up. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym as the Wildcats basketball team hold a slim 2-point advantage over an intense and incredibly talented Rockwall Jackets basketball team. For scoring in the third quarter, Branson Lynn had 3, Justin Hare had 2, Caleb Alexander also had 3, Wisenhunt had 4, and that does it for Wildcat scoring here in the third quarter as they managed to just get 12 here in the third quarter, it looks like. And same thing with the Rockwall Jackets. So both teams scored 12 in the third quarter, so no team really able to pull ahead. But Sulphur Springs will see if they can't do just that here in this fourth quarter, and hopefully early, I'm sure, as Coach Brandon Shaver is thinking, as they no doubt like to pull ahead of an intense and incredibly talented Rockwall Jacket squad. So Rockwall will start the fourth quarter with the ball, and David Chang will have it. Chang inbounding it. He's got Caleb Alexander on him, gets it over to TJ Grix, back near midcourt, then gives it right back to Chang. He's got Wisenhunt on him, and Wisenhunt, no doubt, not going to give him a whole lot of room. Grix back over to number 12, Jay Stone. I believe it's the first time we've seen him this game, and number 13, Brennan Ray tries to put up a shot, but Justin Hare comes down with the board, but he is fouled by number 2, Bryson Taylor. That is definitively Taylor's first personal foul here in this contest. Sulphur Springs still leads by 2, 36-34. Malachi Miles with the ball here in our last quarter. Just over 7.5 to go here in this game as Malachi Miles trying to see if he can build on this advantage that Sulphur Springs has. Caleb Alexander, deep pass there as he tries to drive all the way to the bucket. Malachi Miles with it. Instead, opts right back out to the three-point line. Wisenhunt puts up a 3. And it bounces off the board. Ray comes down with it of Rockwall. The Jackets taking it back the other way, and Ray will do the honors as he's got Cordra Turner on him. He thinks about driving all the way to the bucket, but instead gives it to number 2. But I believe he was called for the travel. If not, Bryson Taylor was called for the travel after he got the pass from Ray. So Wildcat ball, they still lead by 2, just over 7 minutes to go here in this contest. Sulphur Springs leads 36-34. Malachi Miles once again with the ball. And looking for a couple of options. He'll try to get it to Cordra Turner. Back behind the three-point line in front of the Sulphur Springs bench. He'll try and drive all the way to the bucket. Instead, to give it to Caleb Alexander for the 3. Goes right in and out of the rim. So that's a tough one there, as that one looks like it might have had a chance to fall. Bryson Taylor comes down with the board. He'll give it over to TJ Grix. The guard taking it past midcourt. He's got Wisenhunt on him. Nestled up to the three-point line. Now Ray has it. He's guarded by Cordra Turner. Driving all the way to the bucket. Instead, he'll opt out for number 12. And Malachi Miles steals it. He starts taking it back the other way. He's got 12 on him. And he tries to put up the shot, but he is fouled. He will be fouled on the ground, so Sulphur Springs will inbound it. I believe that was number 12. Yes, it was who was called for the foul. So Jay Stone, first personal foul for him in this contest. And some substitutions as Stone with his first personal foul comes out. Same with number 2, Bryson Taylor. And in comes number 33, Hudson Golner, that freshman I've been talking about. And number 10, Kaden Shelburne, the 6-foot senior. 2 free throw attempts for Malachi Miles coming up. And Sulphur Springs in the bonus. Miles drills his first free throw. So only 2 points in the first quarter for Malachi Miles, but now he just added another thanks to a free throw. Second one here coming up, and he drills that one too. So Malachi Miles only had 2 points entering the fourth quarter, and now he's got 4. David Chang with it for Rockwall. He's got Caleb Alexander on him, driving all the way to the paint, and Justin Hare gets his hand on it for a block. It will stay with Rockwall, but an incredible block from the DBU signee, Justin Hare. Brennan Ray tries to take it all the way to the bucket, but instead Malachi Miles comes down with it. Will be called a jump ball. And now Coach Quincy Jones teed up. He could not believe the call on the court, and now he has been given a technical. That's a tough one there. So Coach Quincy Jones giving a technical, and now Caleb Alexander has 2 free throws here coming up, and the Wildcats will retain possession. So Alexander's first free throw is good. It is now a 5-point lead for Sulphur Springs, and that technical could be crucial going down the stretch. And 2 free throws for Caleb Alexander, and 2 of them are good. So Sulphur Springs with the ball now after Coach Quincy Jones was teed up. And Sulphur Springs will get the ball, but instead opts for a timeout. So we're going to take a timeout with these teams. And when we return, Sulphur Springs will see if they can't potentially turn this to a 4 or even a 5-point possession. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym as we've got Wildcats basketball here in the 4th quarter against a very tough and gritty Rockwall Yellow Jackets squad. The Jackets have given the Wildcats just about all they could handle as they trail by 6 here. Coach Quincy Jones of Rockwall was just teed up, giving Caleb Alexander 2 free throw attempts, both of which were good, and now Sulphur Springs has the ball. Malachi Miles with it, gets to Cordrick Turner just outside the paint, then to Justin Hare. Hare looking for a couple of options, and he gives it right back to Caleb Alexander. Then over to Malachi Miles behind the line, mid-range jumper. Bounces off the board, no good. Brendan Ray's able to get the board for the Jackets. TJ Grix walking it past midcourt there for Rockwall. Grix with it, trying to drive past Justin Hare, instead opts out for number 10 and dishes out to number 13 behind the line. Going with the ball, gives it right back out to David Chang at the top of the key. Chang trying to drive up to the top of trying to drive to the basket, but instead it gives it to TJ Grix back at the 3-point line, and it's sent out of bounds on with a hand in from a Wildcat player. Looks like it'll be against Caleb Alexander, who stuck his hand in and sent it out of bounds for Rockwall ball. But again, the Jackets will retain possession, trailing by 6, under 5.5 to go here in this contest. Chang gets it over to Brendan Ray. Ray then to Golner, then out to TJ Grix for the 3, and he drills it. First points here in the second half for TJ Grix, and boy did they need it, as it was a deep 3 from the senior to pull the Jackets back within 3 of Sulphur Springs at 40-37. Sulphur Springs with it. Caleb Alexander near the top of the key. He's got Golner on him. Gives it out to Justin Hare, who was driving to the paint, and then dished it right back out to Justin Hare. Malachi Miles. Now Caleb Alexander with it. Gesturing his offense. Cordrick Turner with it. Then over to Parker Wisenhunt. Behind the line, driving to the bucket. And he will somehow get the ball up and somehow get the bucket. So that is Wisenhunt's 9th point here in this game. Malachi Miles with the ball, driving it. And he gets the easy layup on the turnover. And just like that, Coach Quincy Jones has to take another timeout as Sulphur Springs has quickly to come out to a 7-point lead at 44-37. Timeout called on the court. We're going to take a timeout with them, and when we return, it will be potentially the conclusion of this game coming up. Welcome back to the main gym here at SSHS as the Wildcats have I don't want to say comfortable lead, because no lead has been comfortable against this Rockwall Jacket squad. But the Wildcats do lead by 7 at 44-37. Now a bit of a discussion between the 3 refs on the court and Coach Quincy Jones of Rockwall. So Coach Jones having a heated discussion with these refs. And Coach Brandon Shaver is still huddled up with his squad. So while the Rockwall coach has a lengthy discussion with these referees, we'll get set to resume this action here in the 4th quarter of a non-district matchup between the Sulphur Springs Wildcats and the Rockwall Jackets. Sulphur Springs leads by 7 at 44-37 here with under 4.5 minutes to go here in this game. So Coach Jones still talking with these refs. Coach Quincy Jones relents, goes back to the bench, and it looks like he has been given his second technical, and the Rockwall Jackets coach has been ejected here in Sulphur Springs as his squad trails by 7, 44-37. So with Jones ejected, the assistant coach for Rockwall will helm the duties here in this contest. Under a minute to go here in this game. We're going to take another timeout, and when we return, we will have potentially the conclusion of this contest coming up. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym, and perfect timing from our station manager, James Terry, as he sent it back over to us at the SSHS main gym just in time as the Rockwall Jackets have left their huddle trailing by 7. Their head coach, Quincy Jones, was just ejected after getting his second technical here in this contest. So Sulphur Springs looking to hold on here versus Rockwall. They lead by 7, but after another technical from Quincy Jones, Caleb Alexander's got some free throws coming up. His first one is no good, but second one here coming up, and the second one is no good. So 0 for 2 from the line for Caleb Alexander. And now Sulphur Springs will see if they can't try and get some points on this possession after Caleb Alexander's 2 free throws were no good. So Parker Wisenhunt will get the inbounding honors. He'll get it over to Caleb Alexander, who, as I just mentioned, missed his 2 free throws on the technical on Coach Quincy Jones. Hare with the ball now near the top of the key, then over to Wisenhunt on the near side. Lynn has it, still on the near side, behind the line. Wisenhunt with the ball. Then Caleb Alexander, as he's somewhere between midcourt and the three-point line. Lynn now with it, right in front of that Sulphur Springs bench, and he's guarded by Brennan Ray. Hare with it, then gets it over to Caleb Alexander. Some stiff defense here from the Jackets as Hare's shot is looks like maybe it might have been tipped up by a Jacket, but instead Alexander just kind of threw it up and sent it out of bounds. So Jacket ball here, and they trail by 7 again, still at 44-37, under 4 minutes to go here in this contest. Number 11, Kaden Marshall with the ball, and Wisenhunt is able to force a steal, force a turnover and steal. He'll walk in a circle, then get it over to Caleb Alexander. Alexander driving for a layup, and he gets it. So Alexander may have missed his 2 free throws on the technical, but he made up for it by making 2 there. So leading by 9 here now. Sulphur Springs leads 46-37. And wow, Justin Hare is called on the foul. He didn't have his feet planted, and as a result was called for the foul. I believe that is his second here in this game. Rockwall with it. David Chang has the ball, and he's guarded by Caleb Alexander somewhere between the three-point line and midcourt. Kaden Marshall tries to kind of float a ball in, but it bounces off the backboard. Corcher Turner gets the board, and Wisenhunt gets it to Branson Lynn. Lynn now on the Rockwall side of the court. He looking for options, gets it over to Justin Hare. On the screen from Hare, Lynn tries to take it all the way back to the bucket, but instead turns the ball over. Brendan Ray has it, and now gets it over to David Chang behind the three-point line. Chang trying to take it all the way to the bucket, but the ball is turned over from, and I was just about to say Sulphur Springs taking it back the other way, but then they had a turnover of their own. Number 10, a shot up, and it falls. Kaden Shelburne as the Rockwall Jackets pull within 7 of this game. Hare with the ball, gives it over to Wisenhunt, and he tries to dish it on a very tight window to Cordrick Turner. Back out to Wisenhunt. So with that, Sulphur Springs wisely calls a timeout to not lose this possession, leading by 7 over the Rockwall Jackets at 46-39. So under 2.5 to go here in this game. We're going to take a break with these two teams, and when we return, we'll see if we'll have the conclusion of this contest coming up. Welcome back out to the SSHS main gym as the WildCats basketball team have a, I won't say comfortable lead, but they've got a decent sized lead over the Rockwall Jackets at 46-39. But this Jacket team at 2-3 have never gone away in this contest. Each time a team has kind of built some momentum. This game feels almost like volleyball. The other team strikes right back. So it's a very extremely back and forth affair. So these Jackets not going away. So Coach Brandon Shaver and his team will see if they can't do it here with under 2.5 to go, leading by 7. Wisenhunt inbounding it to Caleb Alexander, and he's got David Chang on him. Pass midcourt in the Rockwall side of the court. Over to Cordrick Turner. Turner's got, he's looking for options. He's got Brendan Ray guarding him. Then out to Branson Lynn. Lynn, near the top of the key, thinks about driving in, but instead takes a step back and still behind the three-point line. Heavily guarded by Brendan Ray. Caleb Alexander now with it after the pass from Cordrick Turner. And he will kind of start to, looks like he'll just try and drain out the clock, but it won't matter as Brendan Ray is called for the foul. So 2 more free throws for Caleb Alexander coming up here. Rockwall has committed 10 fouls here in the second half to Sulphur Springs 4. Alexander's first free throw, no good. So second one here coming up. Rockwall faithful making their voices heard after Caleb Alexander has missed some free throws, and that one bounces in and out. Tough one there. As Sulphur Springs still leads by 7, under 2 minutes to go here. Kaden Marshall with the ball, driving to the bucket. And Hare gets his hands on it. Lynn comes down with it, starts to take it back the other way. And he's past midcourt. Hare now with the ball, right in front of that Sulphur Springs bench. Gives it to Caleb Alexander. Looking for options. Over to Branson Lynn. Looks like maybe it was intended for Justin Hare, but it's intercepted by Brendan Ray. Number 10 taking it all the way back. And that layup is good. So Kaden Shelburne gets another layup, and he has 4 points here in this quarter as Sulphur Springs' lead went all the way from 5 to just, went from 9 to 5. So Sulphur Springs leads 46-41 with just 79 seconds left to go here in this game. Timeout called on the court, so we'll take a timeout with them, and when we return, we'll see if Sulphur Springs can't hang on in a tightly contested matchup with the Rockwall Jackets. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym as the Wildcats are holding on at this point, leading just by 5 over the visiting Rockwall Jackets, 46-41. So we are here in the middle of a timeout and about set to resume action here in the fourth quarter as we've got just 79 seconds left to go here in this contest. Again, Sulphur Springs leads by 5 over Rockwall, 46-41. 3 seconds left to go here on the timeout clock. And Coach Brandon Shaver's squad breaks the huddle, heads back out on the court. So with it will be number 0, Branson Lynn, number 20, Parker Wisenhunt, number 3, Caleb Alexander, 1, Justin Hare, and 23, Cordrick Turner. Sulphur Springs will start the 79 seconds left to go here in this game with the ball. And Sulphur Springs having to call another timeout after Wisenhunt had no good lanes to pass to. So another timeout from Sulphur Springs. We're going to take another timeout with them. And when we return, we will have some more of this great non-district matchup coming right up. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym. As before we went to a timeout, Sulphur Springs tried to inbound the ball with Parker Wisenhunt, but had to call a timeout as they got some stifling pressure from the Jackets. So we'll try again. Wisenhunt inbounding it. He'll get it to Justin Hare. Back to Wisenhunt. Over to Branson Lynn. So back over to Caleb Alexander as no doubt the Jackets will be pressuring intensely. Wisenhunt with a nice pass from Caleb Alexander. Right back out to Alexander. Branson Lynn with it. Then over to Cordrick Turner. And it looks like he will be called for a foul. It's hard to say exactly who it was. I believe it was number 1, TJ Grix. We'll see. Yep. And TJ Grix called for the grabbing foul, grabbing the wrist. And Cordrick Turner's got some free throws coming up. So I know there's a minute left on the clock, but if he can make even one of these, should put Sulphur Springs in good position to win. And he does just that. So Turner able to get his first point here in the second half as he had 8 in the first half. Now with the free throw, he has got 9, and he's got 10 now. So giving Sulphur Springs a 7-point advantage over a minute to go here at 62 seconds left in this contest. Sulphur Springs trying everything to hold on, but a nice layup there from number 11 puts the Jackets back within 5. Nice pass there from Justin Hare to Caleb Alexander. Branson Lynn's got it. Beautiful pass. Wisenhunt. And he is fouled. Wow. So some free throws coming up here for Wisenhunt as he is fouled by the 6'4" senior Kaden Marshall, the guard of the Jackets. He's had a really good game, but perhaps an ill-advised foul there, as maybe just giving Sulphur Springs the bucket there might have been better for them, because Wisenhunt could make both of these free throws as he just made one of them. Second free throw attempt from Wisenhunt here, and that one bounces in and out of the back of the rim. So Rockwall with the ball now, trailing by 6, 49-43. Brennan Ray tries to drive to the bucket, and he gets the shot and is fouled. So it looks like Cordra Turner will be called for the foul, and Brennan Ray will get the bucket. So that is his first bucket here in this game. One free throw attempt here for the 6'2" senior. And he drills it. So 3 points now for Brennan Ray. And he throws it out of bounds. Parker Wisenhunt threw it out of bounds on the pass that was intended for Cordra Turner. So Sulphur Springs leads by just 3 now at 49-46. Just over 30 seconds left to go here in this game, as this game has really come down the wire. Rockwall with the ball, trailing by 3. Grix has it. Inbounds it to Kaden Marshall. Shelburne. Shelburne driving to the bucket, and it's blocked by Parker Wisenhunt. Another bucket attempt here, and that one does not fall. Caleb Alexander has it, and he is fouled by number 11, Kaden Marshall, and that should just about do this game. Wow. Kaden Marshall, the 6'4" senior, fouled Caleb Alexander as he got the ball and was starting to try and attempt to take it back the other way. So 2 free throw attempts for Alexander here. Drills the first one. Second one here coming up. Shots up, and it's good. So 2 more points there for Caleb Alexander as Rockwall trails by 5, puts up the easy layup, and it falls. And that was number 10, Kaden Shelburne, who got the layup, pulling his team back within 3 at 51-48. Just over 20 seconds left to go here in the game. Rockwall calls a timeout, so we'll take a quick timeout with them and potentially have the conclusion of this game coming up. Welcome back here to the SSHS main gym as the Wildcats basketball team are doing everything they can to hold on against a very tough, athletic, and gritty Rockwall Jacket squad. Sulphur Springs leads just by 3 here with just under 30 seconds left to go here in this game at 51-48. Both teams still huddled up with their coaches. Sulphur Springs, of course, huddled up with their head coach, Brandon Shaver, and Rockwall not huddled up with their coach, Quincy Jones, as he was ejected after acquiring 2 technicals earlier in this game. So with that, assistant coaches for Rockwall have had to pick up the slack and finish this game, as Coach Jones was ejected in the 3rd. But that'll do it here for the timeout, as we've got just over 20 seconds to go here in this game at 21.9. Sulphur Springs will start with the ball. Wisenhunt inbounding. Gets it to Branson Lynn. Right back to Wisenhunt. And wow, a steal! And oh my goodness. He stepped out of bounds. My word. What looked like a surefire steal for Rockwall. The pass attempt bounced out of bounds, so it will be Sulphur Springs ball again. So they'll try it again, and Wisenhunt will try his best to not turn the ball right over. Cordra Turner with it, and he is fouled by TJ Grix. And if Sulphur Springs can make even one of these free throws, say this is the last time Cordra Turner was going to the line, they can hang on and win this contest. So Turner, a couple more free throw attempts coming up for him. He was 2 for 2 for his last time at the line. Seeing if he can't add on 2 more and put this game away, leading by 3. That first one bounces off the rim, so just need to make this one, and Sulphur Springs should have a decent lead at 4. Second free throw attempt. Bounces in the rim, but it falls. So 1 for 2 from the line. Sulphur Springs leads by 4. 17 and a half to go here in this game. Kaden Shelburne's got it. He puts up the 3, and he drills it. So Alexander gets the ball in the inbound from Justin Hare, but he is fouled by number 4, David Chang. So Alexander will go back to the line and see if he can't at least put this in a position to where Rockwall couldn't come down and hit a buzzer beater and tie this game up. So Sulphur Springs only leading by 1. Alexander looking to make it 3 if he can cash in on both of these free throws. First one here, he drills it. So Alexander didn't have the start here in the fourth quarter from the line that he wanted, but since then he is looking to go 6 for 6 from the line, but instead it's the old broadcasting team, so just as I said it, he, oh my goodness, and Brennan Ray's deep 3 from midcourt did not fall as Sulphur Springs edges out Rockwall 53-51 in a great contest between these two squads. So we're going to take a quick timeout, and I'll review scoring and tally it all up. But when we return, we will have scoring and a quick review of the Wildcats basketball win over Rockwall coming up. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym, where the Wildcats basketball team just held on for a thrilling victory over the Rockwall Jackets, in which they won 53-51. This game felt like a volleyball game through and through, as each time a team would kind of go ahead and start to build some momentum, the other team struck right back and wouldn't allow an inch. So a very close contest, as again the Wildcats win over the visiting Rockwall Jackets 53-51. The win gives Sulphur Springs a 6-0 record. Rockwall falls to 2-4, but don't let the record dismiss what a talented, athletic, gritty, and tough team that Rockwall Jacket squad has. And I know Quincy Jones, the head coach at Rockwall, really wanted to get this win over a talented Sulphur Springs team, but didn't agree with a couple of calls here. I can't say I disagree with him at all. And got teed up, was ejected in the third, so would that have given his team the edge? Maybe, but I'm not in that predicting business. I'm not I don't read stars or tarot cards or anything like that. But Sulphur Springs got the win thanks to some more even scoring from Coach Brandon Shaver's squad, in which Branson Lynn, Caleb Alexander, and Cortrit Turner all got 11 points. Parker Wisenut was just 1 behind at 10. Number Malachi Miles had 8, and then finally Justin Hare had 4. On the other side, though, it was pretty much one-sided, as the Rockwall Jackets were led very much so in scoring by Kaden Shelburne, the 6-foot senior, number 10, and the guard had 20 points in a close loss to Sulphur Springs. So I know Rockwall is going to be disappointed that they couldn't pull out the upset victory versus a really good Sulphur Springs team, but nothing they should hang their head on, because again, they fought hard all game long, and as I've been saying throughout this broadcast, gave Sulphur Springs everything they could. So that'll do it for us here at the SSHS main gym, as the Sulphur Springs Wildcats get their 6th win on the season to start their season 6-0 after defeating the Rockwall Jackets 53-51 at home. And next up this weekend, both basketball teams, the men and the women, will be in tournament play, as the men's basketball team will be in the Mansfield tournament and the women's team will be in the Glen Rose tournament. So for those of you who love your basketball and can't get enough of it, be sure to head to the Metroplex Thursday through Saturday to catch those games. That'll do it for us here at the SSHS gym. With your play-by-play, I'm Ross Lebinsky. Shooting a video for us is Doug Haston, and making everything you hear possible back at KSST Radio here in Sulphur Springs, James Terry, our station manager. So thank you to everyone involved making this all possible. Congratulations to Coach Brandon Shaver for getting a 6th straight win to start this season, and we will see y'all next Tuesday for a doubleheader in which the Lady Cats basketball team will play, and then the Wildcats basketball team will play. So Should be great action next Tuesday, but until then, y'all have a great weekend.